this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and it's Tuesday, December 19th, 2023, here for my weekly cross-stitching update, and it may be my last regular update of the year since I don't know what next week's going to look like, with Christmas being on a Monday and then family off work and school and everything. So I think I'm just going to share with you today what I've worked on last week, what I plan to work on through the end of the year, and then if I come back, it'll be a plans video, which I would love to do. So we'll see if I can find time to do that. Yes, so let's jump in. First, I have a little bit of Christmas gift I received just yesterday. This is from Cookie. She has sent me a Christmas ornament the last couple years. And this year, along with the candy cane, was this cute little gnome. How sweet is that? The yarn beard, and this is like a fabric covered triangle. It has a 2023 charm, which I think the other ones had yearly charms on them too. So that's so cute. So it's definitely going on my tree near the other ones where I can see them by my stitchy chair all the time. So thank you, that was great. And I think everything else is just regular stitching. So let's jump right in. I have Smokey's in here too, so hopefully she'll show her face. I have my temperature piece, which I worked on this Sunday. So if I don't come back, see, New Year's is on a Monday as well. So I will be starting temperature turtles for the new year. So that may be started next time I come back. I may have this finished and my new one started. So that'll be fun. So here is temperature Quaker now. This is 25 count, 1/1, full cross on Prim vintage cloth. So got only letters this time here in December were put together, and there's some greenish ones in here. It was not super cool this week, just moderate. It's a little rainy this week though, so I'm guessing the numbers will drop down a little bit because when it's raining, the sun never comes out, so it never warms up. Because even we have had frost one morning. It does get cold at night, but the sun always comes out. So the high temperature, which is what I use on these, tends to be warmer a lot of the times. So this week it may be colder again. Then my travel stitching. Let's see, what day did I finish this? I went ahead and finished my last Advent animal. On Wednesday, which gave me a Whipco blackout. Got all of didn't actually color it in, I don't think, but all of my Whipco squares for 2023 are finished. Here's my Advent animal display. Here's Smokey. Hello. And let's see, 23 is, let's see, I lost it, there we go. Is this one, Alistair Alligator. So this is him all done. This is 18 count, light blue Aida, 2/1 full cross. And I put them all on these index cards, and he's ready to go for Noki. Well, she really wants that gnome. I better put it away with the yarn and the balls. Yeah, that's not good for Kitty. Anyway, so this is fun. It's all ready to go for the 23rd. And that whole project is finished now. So that's exciting. All right, let me put Nomi away. All right. No more. So that's exciting. And so also on Wednesday, I started my next travel set of projects since Advent Animals are done. And that's going to be the Cats and Hearts series by Kitty and Me Designs. Pamela Kellogg is the designer. You can find these in her Etsy shop. Some of her designs are on 123 Stitch and other places, but I think that's her Etsy store is the only place I was able to find these. So this is January's. It printed out rather blue, but the actual colors are more teals. So that's kind of fun. I am stitching these on 36 count antique white even weave by Fabric Flair, 2/2. And here is where I got to. So I started in the middle where this sunburst was, and the first stitch had 4 colors. The first color had 4 stitches and nowhere near for counting. And I was like, okay, I'll just tie it off. Next color, not too much better. Next color, I think it was a 4th color perhaps. I finally started to see, oh, this is right over here. This is right over here. And lots of things I could easily count to. So I decided to go ahead and start skipping around and not worry about carrying threads and just kind of go and fill in and have a structure. So this whole like quadrant is done with that one color. So that now when I pull out a color, I'll probably color complete this throughout the whole heart before I move on to another color other than the cat. But then when I pull out a color that may not be anymore in this area, I can have somewhere to tie it off and work it all over the place. So that was kind of my idea. So I'm hoping on the future ones I can find a color like that that will give me a groundwork so it won't be as fiddly. Because once I have a color on my needle, I want to just use it up and go to town. It is more efficient to me. So long story short, the kitty cat is being done in DMC 535 ash gray, which I think is perfect for smoky. So I originally was going to do Baking Tin by Classic Colorworks, and the Baking Tin's skeins that I found at my local needlepoint store, when I got home and I laid them on my cat, did a floss toss on the cat, I'm like, these look really light. And sure enough, they're more of a tanny gray, and that was definitely not what she looks like. And I thought at first, oh, okay, maybe I'll blend it with $37.99 so then it can be like speckly colored. And they're just too different of colors. The new dye lot of Baking Tin was very, very light. So then I thought, well, maybe I'll blend like 413 and $37.99 to still give some speckle, but not as high of a contrast, because a high contrast, I actually stitched a length of thread in that blend of Baking Tin and $37.99. It was just messy looking. I pull out 413 and I'm like, this is actually quite blue of a gray, and I don't know that I want a blue gray for a cat. So I actually remembered in the Heirloom Nativity sampler, which I'll show you in a minute, there was a nice gray in there that I was using. And so I thought, you know what color is that? And that's 535. And it's a nice gray. It's not a blue gray, and I think it will work really nice. So it's just a solid DMC, but I picked up 3 skeins of that to make sure it's all the same dye lot. And they are slightly different than the skeins I already had. So I'll have plenty to do the whole series, hopefully. So I'm very excited about that one. The next 3 weeks, my kids are off of school, so I don't know how much travel stitching I'll have. It'll be spotty. Family get-togethers, TV shows, things like that. I won't have school pickups, so it'll be different, but hopefully some. And then I'll do more once school gets going again. So I did a little bit on Friday on the Frosted Pumpkin. Finally, I pulled this out again. Castle Homecoming Club. And I was thinking of maybe working up to the castle, but I do have all of this grass to do, and I figured I'll just work on grass. And I ended up starting over here because it's just easier to work left to right for me. So I just have some grass right here. It's very boring, but progress is progress. Let's see. Here is where I got to. This is 28 count Ice Blue Lugana 1/1 full cross, which with my own color conversion, mostly fancy flosses. I don't think, yeah, maybe there's a couple DMCs in here that I couldn't find a good conversion for, but yeah, so that's been fun. All I did was this light green up here. This little patch was already done, so I was working in here. Not a whole lot. You can see the outline of the fire pit and chairs. So I'll just work my way across as I can, and then I'll work on the castle and stuff eventually. It may be a while. There's a lot of grass. Okay, I also worked on my Shine Bright sampler for a little bit. I worked on that a couple times. So that's this one, Shine Bright Sampler. You can find this at the Fat Quarter Shop. The original pattern is in the Bonnie and Camille Quilt Bee book, and then you can find the floss pack with a conversion in one of the pictures on their website, the Fat Quarter Shop's website. So I'm doing mine on 40 count Morganite linen by Fiber on a Whim, 1/2. So not a whole lot of progress, but I did do something. I finished the pinky bits in this triangle and here, and then I did, this color was already here, but then I did that color over here so that it's as I go through these, then I'll fill it in over here. So I have 2 or 3 more colors here that I'll fill in. So not done, but some little bit of progress. It has been a busy week, as you might expect. Lots going on. So I'll keep doing what I can on that one. Hopefully can finish the December section before the end of December and can get going on January's. I think that's everything that was like extra. So my main stitching, did I do? Yeah, I guess I did do Simpsons since I saw you last. I did do a little bit more on this than the time before, so you can see something. It's 227 stitches. So this is the total, the finished thing. I had somebody comment on when I was talking about the white on white stitching that I'm doing in the paper, and I do like how it looks, and in general when it's done you can see it and it makes a difference. And even white on white stitching, like in his shirt, Homer's shirt, that'll be solid white, you will be able to see it be different than the background. But in before and after pictures on my channel, when there's less than 100 stitches of white on white, it's like, I don't think you can see it when that's all I've done. So it's nice to have, chip away at those colors, but then do other stuff at the same time. And in that paper area around the edges, there's actually like 4 different colors. There's a white, there's light blue, light gray, light tan, I think, I'm not sure. But I did finish my string of white in the border, and then I started in on Bart's head to give you something to look at. So this is 40 count Vertical 1/1 half cross, 227 half stitches. So I did finish my white string in the paper over here, and then started in on Bart's head just so you could have something fun to look at. But I think, yeah, because some of the other the next highest colors were more of these pale colors. So I think that's what I will do going forward this coming year when I'm going to give it 2 days a month. I'll do some pale colors and then do other fun colors, and then more pale colors and fun colors. So I'll have a little bit of both each month, hopefully. That will be the plan. So, because I know those other colors need to get done, it's just not as fun to share. Then I did some letter S fairy only last week. I was going to work on this yesterday when we came home, and I technically had time, but I was tired and I didn't want to. So I didn't. I almost got it out, but I know if I had chosen to get it out, it would have been fine. Once I start working on something, I get in the mood, but getting it out is sometimes the hardest part. So this may come out today, and then I'll do my other family piece tomorrow, and then work on my focus piece. But I'm not sure if I want to just skip it this month and move on to I don't know, or this week. I mean, I'm not sure. I kind of feel like moving forward on something else. I do like how this is looking, but I'm feeling behind. So I think if I just move forward, it might be better mentally. So here we are, 32 count water lily linen, 2 over 2 full cross. And I put in another strand of the whitish color. It's Garden Trellis, forget what brand. And then started in on a strand of more of this light gray, Old Money, I think. Maybe Classic Color Works for that one. That's still on my needle. So everything where the wings are covering the S right here will be that light color. So it looks like the wings are over top of the letter, which is really cool. So I'll get to this again. I still haven't decided. Maybe I can work on Bear Time Stories today, and then if I'm feeling like working on this tomorrow, I could do that and then bring out my other one. I don't know. You may or may not see more of this finished from this week. We'll see. And then most of the week, I worked on my Heirloom Nativity sampler by the Victoria sampler, and I really wanted to get this done. But again, I feel like just being busy makes my stitchy bug. Either I don't have time to stitch or I'm too tired to want to stitch. So it's just kind of eh. But I did force myself to like okay, let's just pull it out. And once I got it out, I was enjoying it and working on it. So I managed to get this scene finished on Sunday. So it normally would not have worked on this on Sunday, but I really wanted to get that done before I put it away. So this last chunk will be next year's goal, to get it all the way finished. So here is all of it. And here's the before and after of the manger scene. This is like a 32 count gray from MCG Textiles, 2 over 2 full cross. And it's very sweet. I did omit the halos. I don't want those in there, so I took those out, but everything else is the same as called for, and it's done. Yay! So I got that finished just in time, and I will work on the rest of it next year. Probably not at Christmas time. I'll probably pull it out before, because it's just too crazy of a time of year to contemplate working on Hardinger for the first time. So I want to do that earlier in the year when my brain space has more room to contemplate stuff like that. So that'll be good. Yeah, so that's exciting. That was a good goal to finish. And then I did manage to pull out my Celtic Ladies for a wee bit on Sunday, only 87 stitches, but I finished the color in her hair on Winter that I had started a tiny bit of last time. So that's a nice goal, even though I didn't get very much. I like to get, if on a pattern where I can count my stitches, I like to get up to 100 in a day to make it feel like it had some decent progress. But even though I didn't get 100, I felt like it was still good because I finished that color. So that was great. So here is Winter side by side. This is a dark 938, a dark brown, and it's the highlight color. Most of her hair will be blacker. There's actually several colors in her hair, and I chose to do several blends so that it would be quite dark. So I think this might even be the lightest color. It looks really dark there in the picture, but I'm excited to do more on this. I'm not sure. I only have 2 more Sundays in December, and they're gonna be busy. So, yeah, we'll see. It would be really nice to get one more color in her hair and her skin to make sure the conversion works. So we'll see. And I was thinking next year I could work on this on 4 of the months in the year that have 5 Sundays, because I'm going to do my montages for 2 months. So then if they have 4-month Sundays, it'll be like 8 weeks or 8 days, and this one will have 5. So that might be what I do. And more of that in a plans video, because I don't know that I'm making any sense right now. I'm tired. Okay, I think, let's see, what else did I do? Anything else? I don't think so. So going forward, this week I'm planning to work on bear time stories for a little bit, one day. Probably today, because that's kind of what I'm feeling like. I want to work on this mini bear time stories by Randall Spangler, Heaven and Earth Designs. And this is also on 40 count Vertical 1/1 half cross. I'm doing this extreme cross country, so this is the whole size of the pattern. And I have the color with the second most stitches on my needle right now, because I was picking off the colors that had the least amount of stitches, and I wanted to get more numbers in last time, so I pulled the color with the most, the second most, because I've already finished the one with the most, and was filling in some of that up here. So I'll at least finish that string, and then if I have more time, I'll go back to the colors with the least amount of stitches and try to chip away at a couple more of those. So that's my plan. Hopefully I can do that much. And then I may or may not pull out my fairy again. We'll wait and see how I'm feeling. And then my full coverage no background for December is Butterfly Cat. It's just called Butterfly Max Colors, but I'm calling it Butterfly Cat because clearly it's a butterfly cat. And this is really cute. I'm doing, it's a no background is charted that way. And I'm doing it on 28 count. Is it on here actually? 28 count Nessie. Cashel linen, 1/1 full cross. So here is the starting point. Just have the top of her ear because that's the top of the pattern. So I would hope to give this 3 or 4 days, but we'll see how much that ends up being. Maybe it'd be fun to see a little bit more of the kitty cat showing up. We'll see if I can count to any wings. I kind of doubt it, but it'd be fun to get this looking more like something. That would be nice. And I chose this for the one to do in December because my daughter really likes kitties, and this particular scene, it's not necessarily for her because it's probably never going to get finished. But it's something that her and I would both enjoy, so I went ahead and put it in December since that's her birthday month. And then next week, last full week of December, I was gonna pull out Dragon Ride one more time. So here's this one by Teresa Winsler. And I have just a little bit more to do down here in the saddle and 1/1 in the man, and then I can do the ground and the back stitch and the border. So I'll probably just work on filling in those last few normal stitches to get the main stitching finished. So here is this one. 28 count even weave by MCG Textiles in light blue. Mostly 2/2, and the man is charted to be 1/1. So here's my before for him. So that's probably what I'll work on. I'll finish up the little stitches right in here that are not done, and the 1/1 in him. So hopefully I'll at least get that much done. So we'll see. I may do some back stitching or ground or something if I have more time, but lately there's never been more time. It's always been not quite enough time. And then my full coverage choice for December, which I'll be working on the last week of the year for a few days, is Sunny Birds, which I really love this one. And I started it, I think, towards the end of the year last year. So I just got a small start, and I'm excited to get back to this because it's beautiful. It's quite large, and I'm up in the sky, so there's not a whole lot started, but I want to keep going on it. So this is 40 count. It says 48. I don't know why it says that. I believe it's 40 count cream. This looks like cream. Linen 1/1 half cross. Here's my start. So there's not a whole lot to show, so hopefully I'll get more done. working my way, likely keep going across the top, but I may work down if I see some pretty colors. That's more than sky. That would be fun to do too. So there's my starting point on that one. And yeah, hopefully that'll get some nice love next week. All right, so those are my plans for the rest of 2023. I have for the new year, oh yeah, I did buy one more pattern. I should show you. By Stitch Witch Cat. She showed this on her channel. And Cat is the reason I'm doing all the montage pieces, but from Pain Free Crafts, because she was working on winter. I'm like, I need to jump on that bandwagon. So she has an Etsy YouTube channel. It's not Stitch Witch Cat though. I can't remember her channel name. I'll put it below if I can find her. But now she's designing patterns. She's designing the images using Midjourney AI, and this one was too pretty to pass up. So I don't have any plans to start her, but she's gorgeous and I couldn't say no. So there is, I do have plans to start a variety of things this coming year. And as I was going back through my stack here of like Pattern Keeper compatible patterns that I got recently this past year, I'm like, oh, there's a lot of things I want to start. I can't start everything because then I would have like 500 million whips, but there was, let's see, which one I'm planning to do. Oh, I don't see it here. Here it is. This right now is my plan for my New Year, New Start. I guess I'll put it here. It's called Tulip House by a Ukrainian designer. This is the Etsy shop, and I believe there's only one T in the word patterns, and that's where you can find it. There's also a castle that's really tempting, but I think I kept with this one because the colors are more saturated and I like that. I think there might even be a third one that's a possibility. So I don't know that it will necessarily be January 1st because I'll be doing Bringo with the Magazine Monthly Challenge group, and it'll be in there for probably 2 days, but it may not be right away. It may be later. So, and I'm also going to start in January the piece for my daughter, Lollipop by Tilton Crafts. And this is a full coverage. So in the future, this will be one of my family pieces that will get time every month. So I'll give her 2 days in January as well. But again, I don't know exactly which date I will start this one. So those are some things that I thought I would share just in case I get them started before I come back with my normal update. I may do the Tulip House on leftover 36 count fabric that I am doing my cats and hearts on. There was some extra fabric in that piece. So if I have enough, I'll have to measure and find out. I might do Tulip House on that because I think that would be great just to have a nice antique white background for all those pretty colors. And I'll probably do Lollipop, the dragon one, on 40 count Verto 1/1 because that's just really fun to work on. And all those pretty colors will just be really great on that. So that's my plan, and I'm hoping I will have time this week to plan, and then next week at some point I'm hoping to come and actually share my rotation idea and what I'm hoping to focus on next year and kind of all those things. So I'm hoping to do a plans video. Probably won't be out until next week, but this will be my last regular update video, and I'll have the other one like Flosstube Extra, you know, it'll be labeled so you'll know what it's about. So all that to say, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and New Year's, and enjoy your stitching, however much of it you're able to get, and happy stitching. Bye.